Station Development Corporation, I request Mr. Loya to please take his seat on the dais. CEO, IIFCL Projects, Mr. V. Kalyanarama, Director Projects and Services, Concord, Mr. Manish Verma, SVP, NG India, Mr. B.D. Prasad, CEO, Integration, PPAM, Solcraft, and Mr. Satish Yadav, CTO, Mirasis. Welcome, gentlemen. I shall quickly introduce our chairperson, Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Lohia, CEO, IR Station Development Corporation. He belongs to the prestigious Indian Railways Service of Engineers, the IRSC, has more than 28 years of experience in the transport and urban development sectors, especially in urban and rail-based transportation systems. He has worked in the Ministry of Urban Development, Government of India as Director and then as Officer on Special Duty Urban Transport and ex-official Joint Secretary. Served as Director in various metro rail corporations in India. Mr. Loya has been a guest faculty at IIM Ahmedabad for Management Development Program on Urban Transport and Financing at CET, that is the Center for Environment Planning and Technology Ahmedabad, as also at SPA New Delhi, that is the School of Planning and Architecture. Mr. Loya is a National Talent Search Scholar and Merit Cum Means Scholar from India's premier IIT Delhi with an MBA and a bachelor's degree in civil engineering, presently pursuing his PhD in urban transportation from IIT Delhi. He is also the prestigious Chevening Gurukul Leadership and Governance Fellow 2014 in Public Policy from King's College, London. I request Mr. Loya for the theme presentation first. Thereafter, I will introduce the rest of the panel and then we begin the actual panel discussion.
Take the liberty of sitting here and making the presentation.
Can I put it behind?
Okay, whenever we talk of multimodal nodes, so first of all we have to have multimodal integration. And this is a topic very close to my heart, and in my earlier posting in the Ministry of Urban Development as Joint Secretary of Urban Transport, I have been talking that this multimodal integration is easier said than done, because if you think of multimodal integration, it has several levels. So you have to start drilling down right from the policy level, the network planning level, institutions, infrastructure, fare, operations and information. In fact, the easiest part is the information. So the most easy part is at the bottom and the most difficult part is at the top. So why develop railway stations as the multimodal transport hubs? Because they are, as you see, in any of the city, they are the gateway to the city. They are located in the heart of the city, even if the stations were located outside the city earlier, but the city has moved there, so they are now the heart of the city. And the numbers, they have been talked right from the morning, the numbers are huge. Huge footfalls, huge eyeballs, so there is immense potential, a lot of land is available, and that is to be tapped. In fact, earlier section also there was a talk, Mr. From Taj Hotels, he mentioned that why we do not need land potential. Some examples of how the multimodal integration has been done at stations, railway stations globally. This is a photograph of Waterloo Station. So you see a station, no mess, public transport prioritized. On the other side, there is cycle, taxis, all very smooth, no congestion, no confusion. You see this King's Cross station, very big station. Again, you see a large expense. Again, all the traffic, huge traffic is catered here, but pedestrians are prioritized, and buses, etc. They just go adjacent to the this station, but there is again no Information integration, again, information of types of signages, their locations. If you are at a station, so if you have to access any other place from the station, all that information is very easily available, and it is available at the decision points. As compared to that, what do we have in India? Just a brief snapshot. Many of you must have already faced these kind of issues. The services, they do not have any synchronization, queues are long. Many people have already talked about the cleanliness, so a lot of debris is there. The our stations are not disabled friendly. Information, again, it is very, very difficult to decipher where it is. I am just taking a case of Surat because can we make a difference? So we have tried to do that, and as head of Indian Railway Stations Development Corporation, this is what our vision is. So Surat is one of the stations which we are developing. This is the present station. This station was built in 1861. It's one of the oldest stations, and the rail line is about 4.5 meters above the ground. So it presents an opportunity, but also a challenge. If you see that this is the mess which we are having just in front of the station. The entry exit for pedestrians and vehicles is same. So you have to weave your way through the traffic. There is no dedicated passenger waiting and circulating space at the bus terminal, because just some of the photographs, how the conflict is there between different types of traffic. All kinds of movements are crisscrossed, so that is why you find a lot of confusion and congestion. The pedestrians, they have to walk long distances to reach the station. This entire circulation pattern, in fact, you take any station, it prioritizes private transport. If you have cars, then you are a VIP, so you will be able to go very near. And if you are a bus user, so you will be dropped somewhere at a distance, and you have to walk through, wait through your way through the traffic. Why it happens mostly is because the silo approach. The same common man who elects different levels of government and gives them the authority become a cause of pain for him, because they have space distributed amongst them, and the sufferer is the same common man who elects others. So what we did, we have placed the common man at the center. For the first time in the history of the country, we have brought all the three levels of government together. Central government, that is the Indian Railways. We had GSRTC, Gujarat State Road Transport Corporation, and Surat Municipal Corporation. So all the three levels of government have been brought together to pool their lands and also form a JV. So for the first time, all these three governments, they will be forming a JV. And Minister in the morning mentioned that the MOU has been signed on 17th of August, and very soon we'll be registering the firm, and also parallelly we are going for the bidding process. In this project, because what we are attempting to do, it cannot be developed as a normal project of the urban development control norm. So what we have agreed is, we worked at the policy level. So we set up a high power committee under the chairmanship of the chief secretary. We decided, this all forms a part of the MOU, that this will be developed under the special development control rules. And what we are actually attempting to develop, I'll just showcase in other slides. 90 years lease we are providing. The land use charges, etc., will be waived off. Extra FSI, we are going to have FSI of 4, so that it is commercially viable. It can support all the kind of development which we are envisaging. The joint venture company which we are setting up will be entering into the lease agreement, and the developer would be doing the O&M. But while designing the stations, we said that we must have certain focus areas. Normally, when we go for PPP, some of the other, this topic has not been touched in the morning, but whenever we go for PPP, there is always 5 or 6 C's that we talk of the CBC, CBI, CAG, etc., etc. And that actually puts a lot of brakes in how we move forward. We said that enough of that, let us focus on 7 C's of station design, station redevelopment. What should be the focus areas? What should be the areas that we should address? So the station, let it not function as only the transportation function. Let it behave like a city center. All the function. Transportation should be one of the function. So we can have hotels there, we can have retail, we can have office space. So we can have a number of things. Of course, residential accommodation presently is not permitted as part of the lease condition, but all other things are permitted. Cleanliness is one. So that is one user experience that everybody would like to have. So cleanliness also possible by design. Convenience in terms of access, in terms of finding any of the utilities that you want to have. So passenger convenience, communication from railway to the users and backwards. Conservation of environment. So we have, I think, on our panel some of the presentations on how this conservation can be done in terms of all our buildings will be reiterated, solar energy, recycling of waste and water. Congestion, because at present one of the typical sites is that entry, exit, access to the station is highly congested. So how to tackle that congestion? So we will have the entry and exit either segregated vertically or horizontally, so separate entry exit. Convergence of different modes, seamless integration of all modes, that would be part of our design. So this multimodal transport hub that we are creating at Surat, it will be an iconic structure. So it will be landmark for the city. The bus terminus as well as the rail terminus, they will be of international standards. Green building, as I said, it will be state of the art, and this being the first project of its kind, we are definitely going to make it an example for the entire world. Signages would be again self-explanatory so that you can find your way easily. Multimodal integration would be such that one does not have to weave through the traffic. It will be absolute vertical kind of multimodal integration. So once the person comes out of any mode, he doesn't feel the difference whether it is railway land or GSRTC land or SMC land. He can just very seamlessly travel. Arrival departures will be segregated so that there is no confusion in movement, and the entire access will be physically challenge friendly. How we have done it? There are 3 pockets of land. I do not have the cursor, I can't show you. But we had railway land, we had GSRTC land, it is in different colors. Yellow color is the SMC land. So we pooled all these lands, and we also have a temple and mosque in between, just between the railway land and the SMC land. So while doing the architectural design, we have not dislocated them, so we have taken care of that in the design itself. So these pool of land, there is a yard portion, the railway yard portion, the triangular portion that you see. So that is being shifted. The east side, you see the GSRTC bus depot. So that presently was the second entry. So that would be made the main entry. So these are cross sections at different levels. This is at minus 4.5 level. So we'll be to take care of the entire development that will happen. So we have done complete area mobility plan. The 2 roads which are available, they will be widened. We will be making one more new road. So I will not go into too many of the technical details. What we have done is, if you see at the end, we have created a residential complex. So for the first time, the railway houses and GSRTC houses, they will be in one residential complex. So that is a land belonging to GSRTC. It was a very difficult task to convince railways that it does not make sense of pooling if railway has to make its housing in its own land and GSRTC has to make housing in its own land, and then creating all the facilities like parks, etc., separately for 2. So we have created one residential complex, and the other is a commercial complex. I'll just show you how it all works. These are again at different levels. So this is how the stations, once it is redeveloped, it will look like we'll have 5 towers of 61 story, and the top we will have a deck, and yes, when we show this, people say, is it possible in India? It is 100% possible in India, and you will see that by end of this financial year, the concession would be awarded, and within 3 years, this would be a reality at site. Commercial development, of course, will take some time because the total area of commercial development is about 9 lakh square meters. So that's a huge area. So the developer would take some time to develop that and also market it. So these are other views of the station once it is developed. This is the west side. The towers will be on the east side. So it will provide east-west connectivity to the city. This is how the stations, all the platforms would be having escalators and lifts. This is the commercial area. So we will have retail and commercial at the ground floors and the office space, etc. on the top floor. This is just in front of the station. The GSRTC terminal, you see that at ground level, you have the GSRTC terminal on one side. On top of that is taxis, private cars. So all that is vertically integrated. The suburban trains, the future metro that would be coming, the BRTS, which is presently not there but is planned for extension, city bus services. So we'll have terminal for them on the other side so that people can very easily move from any mode to another mode. So this is how the taxis and buses they will be placed. Just some statistics on what additional facilities will be provided, how many more buses, parking, etc., will be handled at the station. So I will not go into the details. There are certain minimum development obligation on part of the developer, because once we are doing all this development, naturally the existing houses will have to be relocated. So certain areas for the operations, etc., will have to be created for railways, for the bus terminal, etc. So all this is a part of the mandatory cost. In fact, the mandatory cost for this entire multimodal transport hub is about 645 crores, and we are splitting the cost because there are certain common facilities. So those common facilities are getting loaded on both Indian Railways and GSRTC. So we are having economies of cost as well. So just in nutshell, I wanted to introduce you to how the principles of this multimodal integration and the vision of what we should have at the station development to serve as a truly multimodal node we are implementing at one of these stations which we are developing. Our intentions are same at other places. Here, yes, the state government and urban local body, everybody was very forthcoming in experimenting with this unique model. At other places, now with this success of Surat, we hope to have a similar kind of models followed at other cities. But at present, the other cities which we are developing, and the minister had also mentioned that the Habibganj contract concession we have awarded. So though it is not with the pooling of land, but at the same time, the concept is same, that whatever we are developing, we follow those 7 C's. We try to create that multimodal hub, even though if it is in railway land. But other projects that we will be developing, we will definitely try to take into account how we can make 1 + 1 = 11. So with that, now I request you to introduce other panelists, and then we'll take up their presentations.
I shall briefly introduce the panel. Mr. Tirakraj Seth, EVP and Head Siemens Mobility. He has cross-functional experience of over 30 years and electrical engineer by profession. He has also graduated in law from Delhi University. In addition, he has taken up several management courses. Mr. Seth is with Siemens since 1984 and is currently Executive Vice President at Siemens Limited and also CEO of Mobility Division in lead country India. During his long stint with Siemens, he has handled several challenging assignments and held various key positions across the company. Mr. Deepak Chatterjee, CEO, IIFCL projects. Prior to this appointment, Mr. Chatterjee spent 35 years in State Bank of India. He joined the bank as a probationary officer and was last assignment in SBI was MD and CEO of SBI Mutual Fund, the asset management subsidiary of SBI. He was also head North India of SBI Capital Markets Limited, SBI's investment banking arm. In between, in SBI, he headed the FIG Group as general manager in international banking. While posted in Antwerp, Belgium,